Hello class, we'll now look at example 4 on page 2 of your chapter 5.5 notes. Cars A and B move uniformly along a straight road and are 8 km apart. If they move in opposite directions, they will meet after 4 minutes. If they move in the same direction, car A will overtake car B after 20 minutes. Find the speed of car A and the speed of car B in km per hour. So in this question, the unknown quantities are the speeds of car A and B. So we are going to let the speed of car A be x km per hour and the speed of car B be y km per hour. There are two scenarios presented in this question. So let's look at the first scenario. In opposite directions, when they travel in opposite directions, they are going to meet each other. Hence, I'm going to draw a diagram first. And we know that the two cars are actually 8 km apart in the first place. We know that to find distance, we have to use time multiplied by speed. In this question, the time is given in minutes. So be very careful here. We need to change the units for time to hours. So to find the distance that A has traveled, we will have to use 4 over 60. This is to convert minutes to hours. So that will be the time multiplied by speed. The speed of car A was given by x km per hour. Hence, we'll have 4 over 60 times x written in this form. Whereas for the distance traveled by car B, it is also 4 minutes. So remember to convert it to hours as well. So we have 4 over 60 multiplied by the speed of car B, which in this case is y. So now that we know the distance traveled by car A and car B, we can now form the equation. So distance of car A plus distance of car B will equate to 8 kilometers in total. Working this out, 4 over 60 when simplified gives you 1 over 15. So since now both the fractions have a denominator of 15, I can combine my numerator together to give me x plus y. Following this, I have a single fraction on the left hand side, so I can cross multiply to give me x plus y equals to 120, which I'm going to label as my first equation. We will need to form a second equation to solve them simultaneously, and we are going to use the second piece of information given to us in the question. In the second scenario, they are moving in the same direction, and car A will overtake car B. So, we will draw this diagram. We know that car A is definitely moving faster than car B in order to overtake car B after 20 minutes. Similarly, the distance between the two are still 8 km apart. Alright, so the distance traveled by car A in the 20 minutes is going to be 20 over 60 when converted to hours, multiplied by its speed, which is x km per hour. So we have 20 over 60 times x. This would give us the total distance traveled by car A in 20 minutes. For car B, we'll have 20 over 60 multiplied by its speed, which is y. So, we can now form the equation x km plus 20 over 60 times y, which is the distance traveled by car B, will give us the total distance traveled by car A in the 20 minutes. Working this out, 20 over 60 when simplified gives you 1/3. So I'm going to express it in the same denominator of 3. And to do so, I will need to multiply 3 to my number 8 as well. It is originally over a denominator of 1. So to make it a denominator of 3, I need to multiply 3 to both the numerator and the denominator. So with this, I have 24 plus y over 3 equals to x over 3. When your denominators are the same, you can cancel both of them out. Or rather, you might want to think of it as I'm multiplying 3 to both sides of the equation. Alright, so with this, I have my second equation formed. So, now we want to solve our two equations simultaneously to find our unknowns x and y. Once again, you can choose between the substitution or the elimination method. From equation 1, I'm going to have x equals to 120 minus y. In this question, I am going to use the substitution method. So, because equation 3 was derived from equation 1, I can only put equation 3 into equation 2 now. When I substitute equation 3 into 2, I will have 24 plus y equals to x, which is my 120 minus y. Bringing all the y's to the left-hand side, I'll have 2y equals to 120 minus 24. Remember to change the signs when you're moving your terms. Hence, y is equals to 96 divided by 2, which gives me 48. Once we have found y equals to 48, we can now substitute it into my equation 2 to get 24 plus 48 equals to x. With this, I find that my x is 72. Alright, remember to check your answers. So we have found x equals to 72 and y equals to 48. Put them into the two original equations. You'll see that the left-hand side balances with the right-hand side for both. Hence, we will now answer the question and state the speeds of the car. So the speed of car A is 72 km per hour, while the speed of car B is 48 km per hour. Sometimes when you get the answers, you might want to think logically if your answers make sense. If let's say that your answer for car B happens to be more than car A, then you would want to suspect that perhaps the calculation is incorrect. Because if car B is faster than car A, it is impossible for car A to overtake B. Thus, when you get your answers, make sure you think logically whether your answers make sense to you. With this, please proceed to try out your example 2 on page 1 and also your homework question 1.